video notes. Today we're going to move on to section 3.2. And if you look at the title, it's Solve Linear Systems Algebraically. If you remembered yesterday, or the last set of video notes, we graphed both lines and we looked to see if they crossed where that would be, because that would be our solution. Today we're going to do it algebraically, so no graphing calculators, just plain old notes, me and the board and you, okay? The first method we're going to look at is called the substitution method. So, I wrote out the steps here. Let's look at them, and then before you get too concerned, we'll go back and do some examples, okay? First step, you're going to pick one of the two equations. You'll want to get one variable all by itself. Once you've done that, you're going to take that and plug it into the other equation. Step 3, solve. Gosh, you've been doing that all year. You'll be great with that. And once you've solved it, you're going to put your answer back into the original equation. Okay? Lots of substituting. That's why it's called that, but really not all that difficult. Let's come on over and we'll look at an example. Here's your system. You've got 3x plus 2y equals 1, and you've got negative 2x plus y equals 4. So we've got to pick one of these and solve or get a variable all by itself. Well, I think up here, there's numbers and letters and all together. We'd have to get, if we were solving for x, we'd have to get rid of the 2y and the 3. If we solve for y, we'd have to get rid of the 3x and the 2. Shoot, come down here. If you were solving for the x, you'd have to get rid of the negative 2 and the y. But notice, y looks pretty simple, right? It almost seems all by itself. Let's try to solve that one. So I'm going to star it, because that's my starting place or my original. What do we have to do to get y by itself? You would add 2x to both sides. Now here's my question. When you add these together, can you combine them and get 6x? I hope you're telling me no, because one has an x and one's just a plain number. Okay, so we solved it. We got it all by itself. Now, step 2 tells us to plug it into the other equation. Well, the other equation says 3x, and then it's got a 2. But now, instead of writing y, this is where we substitute and write 4 plus 2x. And then we still have it equal to 1. Okay? What does it mean to have a number out in front like that? It means to distribute. So we get plus 8 plus 4x, and it equals 1. Anything we can combine over here? Yep, 7x plus 8 equals 1. Now, do you get rid of the 7 or the 8 first? Hopefully you said the 8, so we subtract 8 from each side. We get 7x equals negative 7. Sorry. What do we have to do to get x by itself? Divide by 7. What is negative 7 divided by 7? Oh, it's negative 1. So we've now solved it like we talked about. Now we're going to plug this back into our original or starred equation. So we've got negative 2, but instead of x, we're going to write negative 1. We're substituting. We've got plus y, and it equals 4. What is negative 2 times negative 1? It's 2. What do we do to get y by itself? Subtract 2, and we get y equals 2. Now, our solution then is the point negative 1, 2. If I put negative 1 in for x and y for 2, it works in either equation. If I graphed them, this is where the lines would cross. Okay? Let's look at one more example just to practice. We'll come over here. Here's our next one. Now, one thing that sometimes students struggle with is, I don't know which equation to start with. Look for one that's got just a variable with no coefficient, this kind of thing. So do you see that up here? Oh, here. So we want to use this one. So we are going to solve x plus 5y equals negative 9. And we want to get the x all by itself. What do we have to do? Subtract the 5y. And since you guys got pretty good at this last chapter, this time I'm going to just write it like this. It doesn't matter if you solve for x or you solve for y. Just get one variable all by itself. Now, after you get one variable all by itself, what do you have to do? Plug it in. So I'm going to go to the other equation, and this time, instead of writing 4x, I'm going to substitute this in, and I put in -5 minus 9. Write the rest of what's up here, plus 3y equals -2. What does it mean to have a number in front? Oh yeah, distribute. So -20y minus 36 plus 3y equals -2. Any like terms? Oh yeah, these two, and -20 plus 3 is -17. Now, what do you get rid of next, the -17 or the -36? Do you know that it's the 36? So we're going to add that, and we get -17y equals 34. What do you do next? Divide by -17, and you get y equals -2. So we've solved it. Now we're going to put that back into our original equation. So our original was x plus 5y equals -9. We found out y was -2. Okay, so you get x minus 10 equals -9, because positive 5 times -2 is -10. Add 10 to both sides, and you get x equals 1. So this time, we got 1, -2. All right, and that's all there is to it. Be careful that you keep track of which is your original. Make sure that you can tell whether you wrote an x or a y, so you might do kind of a loopy y like I do. And I'll either have you watch the next set of notes, or I'll see you for practice. Bye.